shy of quorum, but it sounds like the people we need are on PrimeGov already. So. Yeah, here they go.
Hello.
Hello, welcome.
Commissioner Wynn, disconnect. Michael, I show Commissioner Udi is disconnected from PrimeGov.
I'm just getting a call.
Thank you.
Got new plans. Good, how are you?
Michael, can you mute yourself? Sorry.
Looks like he did. It is 3 o'clock, and it looks like we have sufficient individuals with us here for a quorum. I'm going to go ahead and read the script, and by the time I get done with that, we should definitely have quorum, and maybe everybody will be able to connect. So it's 3 o'clock, March 24th, 2021. Welcome to the Urban Design Commission. This meeting is being held by video conference. My name is Lee Peoples. I'm the chair of the commission. No physical location will be provided for this meeting. We will instead stream it from remote locations. We request that everyone joining us today, except for commission members, please keep your microphone muted until you're called upon to speak. As instructed in the agenda, those who called or emailed in advance to let us know your name and contact number and item to speak on, you will be recognized first. And we will do that before the UDC votes. And before that, I will ask if any member of the public would like to speak. If you're a member of the public, when your name is called, to unmute yourself, press *6 on your phone or the unmute icon on your computer, and you will be given 3 minutes to speak. When I ask if anyone from the public wants to speak on an item, and if you did not provide your information in advance of the meeting, please raise your hand by pressing *9 on your phone or select the raise hand icon on your computer. When your name is called, you'll need to unmute yourself by pressing *6 on your phone or the unmute icon, and you will have 3 minutes to speak. For everyone speaking today, please identify yourselves when you begin to speak. Citizens may address the commission on any agenda item by responding to the chair's call for speakers during discussion. All comments must be relevant to the item. The chair or presiding officer may, in their discretion, prohibit a person from addressing the commission or remove that person from the video conference if that person commits any disorderly or disruptive behavior, which includes, without limiting, speaking without being recognized, continuing to speak after notice that your time has expired, presenting comments or material not relevant to the item under discussion, failing to comply with the lawful instructions of the chair or presiding officer, engaging in other conduct, activity, or speech that delays, disrupts, or interferes with our timely conducting of meetings. Citizens cannot submit or present documents during video conference meetings. If we lose our video connection, we will stop the meeting and reconvene it once we restore the connection. If we cannot do that within 30 minutes, items remaining will be moved to the next regularly scheduled meeting, which is Wednesday, April 28th, 2021 at 3 o'clock. The agenda and documents for this meeting are located at PrimeGov. And I would now ask the clerk to call the roll, please.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Commissioner Peoples.
Present.
Commissioner Udi.
Present.
Commissioner Blatt.
Present.
Commissioner Sharnico.
Present.
Commissioner Guillory. Commissioner Holmes. Commissioner Miller. Commissioner Wynn.
Present.
Commissioner Barnum.
Present.
Mr. Chair, that completes the roll call. You have quorum.
Thank you. The next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from February 24th, 2021. Does anyone have any corrections to those minutes, or would anyone like to move approval?
I'd like to motion to move minutes to be approved.
Sorry, I had some trouble hearing that.
I'd like to make a motion to approve the minutes.
Okay. We have a motion by Commissioner Nguyen, and hopefully you can, yeah, I see in PrimeGov now it's coming up.
I'll second the motion. This is Commissioner Blatt.
Thank you. Motion by Nguyen, second by Blatt, and in PrimeGov, I'm just waiting to be able to vote on that.
Excuse me, Mr. Chair, technical difficulties. Please stand by.
Sure.
We can do that by voice vote if we need to. This is Susan.
Thank you, Susan. I'll ask the clerk, would it be easier just to do a roll call vote on that?
Yes, Mr. Chair, roll call vote. Commissioner Peoples,
Aye.
Commissioner Udi,
Aye.
Commissioner Blatt,
Aye.
Commissioner Sharnico,
Aye.
Commissioner Miller,
Aye.
Commissioner Nguyen,
Aye.
Commissioner Varnum,
Aye.
Commissioner Guillory, Commissioner Holmes. Mr. Chair, that completes the vote. You have passed. The motion passes.
Okay, thank you. The minutes are approved. We have no cases withdrawn. We have no continuance requests and nothing on the consent docket. So we will move to item 6A, cases for individual consideration. We have one item there. This is UDCA 21, number 3 at 1400 Northwest 23rd Street. And I would ask staff to give us an overview of this item.
Yes, Mr. Chair, this item is UDCA 21-00003 at 1400 Northwest 23rd Street. That's the southwest corner of Northwest 23rd and Douglas Avenue. By way of some background, we have had 2 cases recently on this particular location. One was UDCA 20-00009, which was for the demolition of the Mutz structure that was damaged by severe windstorm in the spring of 2020. And then later on that year, in June 2020, we had an approval of UDCA 20-00020, which was for the construction of a different commercial project that was approved by the commission. We have reviewed this particular application against the applicable development regulations and design guidelines for the urban design overlay along 23rd Street. And for the most part is in compliance with many of the issues that we like to see complied with in this overlay district. However, the building does not meet a standard side yard setback, a maximum setback of 10 feet from Douglas Avenue. And the reason for that is that this is a drive-through use, which in order to accommodate that drive-through lane on the east side of the building, and to have added parking on the east side of the building. There's no way to bring the building that close to the right-of-way line of North Douglas Avenue. We've described for you in our analysis in the staff report that this business is predicated largely on a drive-through clientele. There is no indoor seating for dining or drinking tea or what have you. They have some retail components inside the store, but primarily their use is drive-through driven, and therefore they need to have the drive-through. And given the location for the driver to be next to the window on the left side of the car, that drive-through needs to be located on the east side of the building. And consequently, there's very little possibility of incorporating that drive-through while meeting the required setback. We've provided that analysis for you, and for a number of those reasons, as we described in the staff report, we are recommending to the commission that you support the request for the variance from this setback. And that completes our presentation. Prepared to respond to any questions that the commission may have.
Thank you, Michael. Any questions for staff on this? It does appear to me, in looking at the site plan, that if they're to have parking on both sides, east and west, that they really couldn't move it any further away from Douglas. Michael, is that?
Yeah, they could eliminate the parking on the east side of the building, and that would bring the building closer, but it still wouldn't meet the maximum 10-foot requirement. So,
yeah. Any other questions for staff? Is the applicant with us on Zoom today, or applicant's representative? Or on the phone?
They had indicated to me that they were going to be joining a meeting with 3 representatives.
Yes, this is Roy Brower, and I'm with represents the property.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Brower. Could you please give us your name and address for the record?
My name is Roy Brower. My address is 2816 Chisholm Trail Lane in Moore.
Okay, at this time in the meeting, applicants usually make comments or make a presentation to the commission. You certainly don't have to do that. You could just answer questions. But if you'd like to say anything, please go ahead.
We recommend that we approve the staff's proposal. I mean, that meets our needs. Just the one variance to be so that we can do the drive-through on that east side.
Okay, any questions for the applicant? Do we have any members of the public who have signed up to speak on this item who are with us on Zoom or on the phone?
There was nobody that had contacted us 24 hours prior to the
Okay.
meeting to indicate their desire to comment on this application. No.
Okay, and do we have any members of the public on Zoom or on the phone who may not have signed up but would like to speak? Please identify yourselves now.
Hello, my name's Jeremy Meek. My address is 12817 Pondview Drive, Oklahoma City. I also represent the Moonlight operation. I'm representing the general contractor to build the project, and we tried everything through the corporate franchise structure that they try to follow and to meet the design guidelines, and we're unable to. So we'd also would appreciate the staff's recommended approval.
Okay, thank you for that. Any questions from the commission for this representative?
Mr. Meek, can you give us your address for the record?
Yes, sir. It is 12817 Pond, Pondview Drive, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioners, any discussion among us on this item? The staff report has a recommendation if we decide to go that route. And this would require approval. And then a separate item would be voting on a recommendation potentially to the Board of Adjustment for the variance. And those items are in the staff report.
This is Commissioner Blatt, and I would like to make a recommendation to approve the application on the basis that the project meets the regulations and guidelines of the Urban Design Overlay District Zoning Ordinance as referenced in section C and D of the staff report, that with the condition that the applicant obtain a variance from the Board of Adjustment for maximum 10-foot requirement for the street side yard.
All right, I am looking at PrimeGov and I have the option to move this. So Commissioner Blatt, if you can also see that, maybe you could click that, or staff may be able to do it for you.
Oh, I see it. Got it.
Okay, great. And I see you have moved it and it has been seconded by Commissioner Charnico. So please cast your votes.
And following that, I'd like to make a recommendation for approval to the Board of Adjustments for a variance from the maximum 10-foot side yard setback along North Douglas Avenue. Make a motion for that.
Okay. Thank you. I'm still seeing PrimeGov is waiting for a vote on that first motion from everyone. Okay, that is approved. The first motion is approved. Now, if we could have PrimeGov set up to vote on this second motion, please. Did we receive a second, Commissioner Blatt?
Commissioner Charnico seconded it through.
Okay, correct. Yeah. Okay, very good. So we have a motion and a second. Please cast your votes.
I am showing the original motion. And
yeah, I am as well. Mark, are you able to create a new item to vote on, or should we just do this by a roll call?
Sir, I'm going to ask for a roll call at this time, please.
That'd be great.
Let me kind of, I had not seconded the second motion. I'm willing to second it, but just as a formality, I wanted to go on the record with that.
Thank you for clarifying.
Thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Commissioner Peoples.
Aye.
Commissioner Udi.
Aye.
Commissioner Blatt.
Aye.
Commissioner Charnico.
Aye.
Commissioner Wynn.
Aye.
Commissioner Varnum.
Aye.
Mr. Chair, that completes the vote. The motion passes.
Thank you. Applicants, you have, your project has been approved and we have made the recommendation to the Planning Commission for that variance. So thank you.
Board of Adjustment.
Board of Adjustment. Thanks for that correction.
This is Susan. I just wanted to clarify, did Commissioner Miller vote on that?
I did not, but I vote aye.
Commissioner Miller, aye. Thank you, Commissioner.
Okay. Thank you, Susan. That will conclude our cases for individual consideration. We have no other business. We do have 2 communications, 2 administrative approvals. Would any commissioner like to have any of those items discussed by staff? Not hearing anything, we will move on to comments from planning staff. Any comments from planning?
No, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you. Any comments from commission members? Okay, not hearing any. That will conclude our meeting for today. Our next meeting is Wednesday, April 28th, 2021. Applications were to be submitted by 4 p.m. 4 p.m. March 23rd, with revisions made by March 30th. And with that, we are adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.